as bestiality.
Yeah.
We draw the line.
Yeah.
You know, we got to draw the line somewhere. So on that note, so again, I've said it many times. I'll say it again. One of the best parts about having a show is that number one, it's our show. Number two is that we can have people on whoever we want, however many times we want. But now that we have video, it gives us a perfect excuse to invite back guests because it's like no, you get to come back and we're on video now. It's come by. So I am so happy to have on our show for the second time, and I'm gonna go through all in Panolo, Adrian, Domino. I mean, pick a name. It doesn't matter. We love you. We love you all the names. All right, welcome back, man.
Thank you for having me back. I'm loving the setting. The set, the green lights.
You see, it's a little different than last time with the playroom.
Than the closet we were in, pretty much.
the playroom closet we were in. So I gotta tell you, I wore your shirt because obviously, like I gotta represent. And I've actually, I think I've worn your shirt like when I've traveled even. Like I've just been like, nope, gonna take Domino.
Now I feel bad because now I'm wearing my own shirt also.
No, because we're here to promote you, not me. But I almost, because again, wrestling, I almost wore a singlet.
You should have.
Here's the reason I didn't wear it. Here's the reason I didn't wear the singlet is because the singlet that I have is mesh. And I wouldn't have felt comfortable wearing like the bottom half of it. So I would have had to put on shorts, but then it's so low cut that it just has like two little tiritas here. Yeah. So it would have just looked weird.
You would have been looking like a Borat with his
pretty much. Yeah. So I was like, I'll just go with the branded t-shirt instead. It's a safer bet.
How about this? For the third time, when I come back, I wear my tights, you wear the singlet.
You know what? That's fair. That's fair. Third time's the charm, and apparently the time I get half naked. Apparently. But no, a lot has happened since the last time you were here, and it wasn't that long ago. But I think you had like just started wrestling, right?
Yeah, I think I had been wrestling 8 months. No, like 6, 7 months, 8 months.
Like, yeah.
At that time, because I was in the middle of a feud. Which you ended up going to.
I did go to that one.
You ended up going, So it was right before that street fight, that loquera. So that was July.
Yes, it was, porque había un calor de carajo in there. Thankfully, though, I had my Domino abanico.
Yeah, the fan, the abanico. They come in handy. So yeah, a lot has definitely changed, as you can see with this.
Yes, I mean,
piece of jewelry.
Can we please talk about this? We have to. I'm gonna just.
Yes, absolutely. I'm surprised you haven't yet. We got. Yeah.
Pero esto pesa.
Eso pesa. Eso es para los fuertes solamente.
That's why I couldn't lift it. So we got the Coastal Championship Wrestling Southeastern Championship. Oh, this is really nice, bro.
Mira the leather ahí, the snake skin.
Coño.
Ahí.
Oh, it's okay, all right, Jake.
Open it. Puede hacer lo que quiera ahí.
Oh no, that's it.
You want to wear it? Wear it for the rest of the year.
I want to try this on. Let's see how. Let's see how you put this thing on. All right, so on you it looks like a championship belt. On me it looks like a faja.
Una faja.
All right, which is good.
You have to lift it when you sit. It's gonna be lift it high.
So I gotta put it up here. So now it's a truss. Okay. All right. Great. Like this does not look sexy or athletic on me.
I should have lent it to you, and you should have worn it to Coachella.
Can you imagine? Bro, this would have weighed me down, and the heat from the sun would have baked everyone. Like it would have just.
So I actually wore it at the beer festival this past weekend. It was Irie Jungle Tripping Animals.
That's right.
It was Miami Beer Week.
That's right. And which you're in charge of.
I help with the team that we all with all local breweries as well. We all get together and try to.
Humble. So humble. He's a champion. He's humble.
But I wore it for the festival because we also did so I was wearing many hats that day. The only hat I wasn't wearing was Panolo. Which actually he was partially there because we did a Cafecito collab.
Okay.
Where we poured a Cafecito colada into a stout. We had the colada cup, and then we had a stout that other half brewery in New York were pouring into cups, and then our friends from Ology that are in Tampa, they were pouring into the stout cup a liqueur, a Oreo double stuffed liqueur into the stout, and we passed it out to the masses, and then we gave them all Cafecito. It was pretty much like Irish car bombs, and then you dumped it in the cup and you chugged it. So did that. It was a partial Domino Panolo's thing, so I was wearing that
While you're handing
Mexico,
out
go back.
Cafecito?
The whole festival. So yeah, I lost some weight because I was
gonna say,
sweating.
This is like what, like 10 pounds?
I have no. But it's heavy. I don't know how much it actually weighs, but
I mean, it feels like pesadito. Like
it looks good on you.
Like
What's up? You need to get back. You need to get in the ring.
You know what?
We talked about it before.
It's actually been a dream of mine because I'm a big wrestling fan, like old school wrestling. We talked about it, and I've always wanted to just get in that squared circle and
it's a crazy feeling.
and just go off of like, the
ropes.
The ropes. Thank you. I was like the strings. The
strings,
ropes.
No, they're definitely not strings. I broke 2 of my ribs running those ropes. Yeah, partially fractured them and then completely fractured them. The two of the last ones on the right side early on in my training.
So the training, not even a match.
Even a match, yeah, it was training. So the strings are intense, yeah. So
strings.
Fast forward to now, it's I definitely feel it more, but it's been a wild ride, and I love it. It's crazy just feeling that energy when you're out there and fulfilling all your dreams when you were a kid and picturing, when you're a kid, you're picturing on top of the countertop and your mom telling you, "Oh, hey, bájate de ahí." So doing the same thing I was doing as a kid, but actually like on top of ropes, right. Strings.
I'm not living this one down. Nope.
With the belt instead of like a pillow, yeah, it's crazy, but man, I'm motivated to keep going, to keep accomplishing certain things, certain goals I have set out for myself. I think when we last spoke, I had certain like short-term goals, and my goals at that time were to try to be the best wrestler I can, to try to be a household name for the company and do the best that I can, and to beat those ratas that we were feuding with at the time. And we did, but I didn't have the vision yet I knew eventually long-term goals, I would want to be a champion. But now I am the Southeastern champion for CCW. And now I'm starting to see some new fuel. And, I'm not stopping here. I want gold. The silver's nice, but we want gold. So
yeah, it's a step.
It's a step.
It's a step in the right direction.
But I am focused. I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I'm going to keep focusing on being the best Southeastern champion that I can be. And if
how many? It's a Southeastern, and then
it's the Southeastern champion, and then right after that's the world champion, the CCW world champion. Okay. Yeah. So we're representing the Southeast right now. Sure. Pero sooner or later, I'm going to have to bring the Southeast worldwide. You feel me?
Watch out, Pitbull. All right, this is the new Mr. Worldwide over here.
Yo soy Pitbull's Pitbull. Yo soy Chihuahua. Algo así. Or how about the Rottweiler?
I like it. Rottweiler. I like it.
The Cuban Bulldog.
All right. Well, oh my God. British
the American Bulldog. I see what you did there.
British Bulldog was oh my God. What was his name?
Davey Boy Smith.
Was it Davey Boy Smith?
The British Bulldog. Yeah, Davey Boy Smith.
Yeah. God.
Yeah.
I just like unlocked a memory there. I was like, wait, what happened? Yeah. I have to tell you, when I saw you, in your match that time in that sweat box, because
it was almost similar to where we filmed that first podcast when we.
Oh my God, it was so hot. It was so hot in there. But watching you in the ring, like, because again, last time we spoke was before I had the chance to see you, right?
That's true. Yes.
Watching you in the ring was so it was awesome because I've known you for a minute now, and then we had just chatted about you in this new role as Domino, right? And then I saw you do it. And I was like, yo, that's the guy who makes like the phenomenal pan con bistec. But he's like kicking ass in that ring. Like it's talk about multifaceted.
I had pan cubano there. I don't know if you saw that. I was hitting them with pan cubano.
Saw you? No, I saw you hit people with it. Yes. Yeah. And I think our friends from Massacraft actually were
they were there with the pots and pans and the sugar cane. They had the sugar cane.
That's what it was. The sugar cane. And you came alive in that ring. In a way that it's like, you're not a dour person. You're a very upbeat, fun, like personality. But you came so alive in that ring. The minute that you came out, it was amazing to watch.
Yeah,
is the bottom line there.
Yeah,
and, congratulations, man.
Thank you. Yeah, when I go through it's wild. And I'm starting now. We're almost we're pretty much 10 months removed from that match when you finally saw. So almost a whole year of new experience. Of me doing this and learning, and I feel like a completely different wrestler even now. Like I feel like if you were to see me now wrestling, I feel like I've grown and learned so much, and I still have way more to learn. Right. But I feel like even like I've learned so much. It's crazy. I feel so much more different, a lot more confidence when I step out there. But going back to like, yeah, that moment, being there and you being able to feel that energy, it's like it's rewarding to hear because yeah, when I go out there, it's very therapeutic.
Is it?
It is. It is like once I step through the curtain, like, and I guess to peel the curtain back a bit, right? Which we don't do a lot in wrestling. But,
do not get me in trouble with that fandom.
But I'm like, before I go out in any match, like this last Thursday, like, and maybe it's because I'm still new, whatever. But it's me, and I can't hold that back. You know, I can't lie to myself, and I need to be true to myself and be who I am.
Right,
you know, and. But I'll yell at the top of my lungs before I get out, and like I'm hyping myself up, and I'm getting myself in that zone. And when I'm out there, I feel like I don't want to use the cliche like I feel like a different person because I am like that's me. That's just it's the one platform where it allows me to just let everything go that's been pent up for the week. You know what I mean? Or for the month or whatever it is. And I can go out there and just feed off the people and like really just like it's not me acting. Like I'm not like, okay, this is the part where I have to go and scream at the top of my lungs, or this is the part where I have to go ponte la pila, or this. No, it's just me reacting naturally. And I get to just exude all this energy. So what you saw was, and a lot of that match really was all like on the fly. None of that stuff was really like scripted or anything. Like we were just improvising with feeling each other, feeding off the energy of the crowd. With it, like I wasn't supposed to grab the cafecito. I grabbed it from the crowd. I drank it, and I was like, "Oh, you know what? Here you go." And I poured it on him because he poured it on me a month before. So a lot of that is just like feeding off the energy that you just said when you felt it. Like you saw me out there, you felt like this energy, and like because I'm feeding off of you guys, you know, and letting it all out. Which is crazy. Even at training, I find it very therapeutic as well.
But I think you said something interesting, which is it's not a character, right?
Yeah.
Domino's the name you use to wrestle, but it's not a character. It's just a heightened version of who
myself.
You are.
Yeah,
and I think that's why people connect.
Yeah,
because there's. It's still Adrian. Yeah. It's just with a different name.
It's just Adrian with tights.
Yeah, it's Adrian with so it's still Adrian. It's it's Adrian.
Yeah, and I feel like you've known me. You've seen me before I started wrestling in the Panolos or Union, and yeah, I'm just the same guy. You know, mismo jodedor. You know, but instead
that's
of
why
moving,
you connect, man. That's what it is because olvídate, people can smell the bullshit, right?
Yeah,
and. Characters are great. I love, listen, I love old school wrestling and the characters that we all know and love, right?
Of course.
But that has a shelf life also. And there's only so far you can take that if it's not a real person that I can connect and want to root for.
Yeah. And even like wrestling aside, like just in life in general, you can read through somebody when they're not being genuine, or you can read through them, or they're insulting your intelligence, or they're speaking in a condescending fashion, or lo que sea. You can read through all that. You know what I mean? So I guess it applies to wrestling as well. It's, I try to be the most genuine version of myself, just acelerado, frustrado, complicado,
That's all of us.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I just feel so connected, when I see you. I mean, aside from knowing you, it's like, oh no, I know this guy.
Yeah.
It's...
Yeah, like this guy just served me coffee in Hialeah.
Right. Yes. Yes, that's actually the perfect way to put it, is that. So, I mean, now, you brought up coffee. We've been talking about Cafecito. So, let's pivot a little bit here. You have joined the ranks of us crazy people who have decided, let's talk to people and put that shit on camera.
Yeah.
So you have I don't know do you call it like a podcast, a talk show?
I call it
I
call it a podcast, but I don't feel comfortable calling it a podcast. A conversation.
Okay. Why don't you feel comfortable calling it a podcast?
I don't know. I feel like it's insulting to people that actually like are operating a podcast. Like I don't want I don't know, like if maybe offensive to people that are running an actual podcast, and like I don't feel like I don't want to step on people's toes, or I just want to talk to people and operate. But I think the format is also a little different than a podcast. But maybe it's a little ignorant on my side that I don't like calling it. I mean, you as a podcast, or would you consider yourself a podcaster?
We
this
are
is a podcast.
Yeah, we are a podcast.
Would you consider the show a podcast? The Cafecito chats,
I absolutely would.
a podcast.
I
Okay.
absolutely would. Yeah. I was going to tell you, I'm like, sir, not that I am the grand poobah of podcasting,
Yeah.
but as a podcaster, I am telling you, you have a podcast.
Okay, it's
Like,
official.
It is official.
Then we're gonna add to the title to the logo.
Yeah,
Cafecito chats podcast.
exactly. It's like restaurateur, wrestler, podcaster, all of it.
I'm just trying to copy you guys because you have a food pop up, you have a podcast, and I think I'm just copying you guys.
I'm just gonna tell you, Darian, in case you ever screw up, this is your replacement right here. Just so we're clear, okay? Listen, pop-ups.
Or if you mess up,
all of it. No, I won't. That's the I won't. That's the difference. So Cafecito Chat.
Yeah.
Is the show, is the podcast. I'm gonna start saying it. Para que se te meta en la cabeza. The podcast. And you've been doing it now for about what, like two months? Approximately?
2 months.
2 months, yeah.
2 months. 2 months. Yeah, 2-3 months.
Yeah, because we're doing this. We're recording this late April, and you started on 305 Day.
I did.
Your first episode was on March 5th, 305
March
Day.
5th.
At
3:05
p.m. Yes, Eastern time.
Yeah.
And where did that come from? Where did that idea come from? And I gotta tell you, when you announced it, I was like, okay, he'll do good because you've got that good personality. And then I seen your shows. You're good.
Thank you.
You are good at it.
I apply whatever I've learned from you guys. And I know we've had the talk before, and I've been on multiple different shows and their podcasts, since now we're labeling them as podcasts officially. Yeah. And yeah, I definitely picked up a lot from you guys because I feel like you guys were the most genuine, and I enjoyed being on your show the most. It's the one that I always go back to and like listen to if I want to gather something for like a reel or copy some like snippets or whatnot, or like audio, like sound bites. Yeah.
I'm flattered.
And yeah, so I try to, pick up certain things, obviously, just like from Panolos with certain pop-ups as well. Like my peers and my colleagues, friends, I picked up certain things from them, and I've tried applying it because I respect what you guys have all done in your respective industries, and I tried applying it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So you guys are doing good shit. So obviously I'd like to apply it. As far as the vision, it's always something I always wanted to have some sort of show, I guess. It was before I thought it would be a podcast where it was just a 15-minute, highlight reel of a conversation where mainly it was just showcasing. I wanted to educate people, especially using the platform as Domino, right? This wrestler that's from Miami and puts on for his city. I wanted people to learn why I'm so passionate when I go out there in the ring, right? Or like why I'm so passionate about the things that I do, or the city I connect with, lo que sea. And so I wanted to talk about different like themes, right? The culture. So why is Cafecito so important? Why is the Miami music scene so important? What connections does it have? Why it means so much to certain people that I'm speaking to, and it's really overall to show people that, and it's like a tagline that I've used. And I used this even before I started like my own. I tried starting like my own blog, I guess, if you will, years ago before Panolos. And it was always the same tagline, right? Like I wanted to show people that Miami is more than South Beach. Like that there's so much culture.
Say it again for the people in the back.
Yeah, there's so much culture and depth to Miami. And I still have a lot of culture to learn in Miami, that different pockets I still haven't stepped into that I would love to. And it's part of the show I want to do too, is step into a pocket that I haven't stepped into before and learn about it and educate myself, and therefore educating others. So essentially, again, I say it every time I talk. I'm long-winded, I'm Cuban, I ramble. So essentially it's just a platform that I'm with the help of my wrestling platform and the following that I've gained in the beer scene or the food scene, is to be able to use this platform to put out a vision of educating people on why Miami culture is so important to us. And I feel like Miami culture has touched people throughout the country as well. Like you say Miami and people are automatically going to think of, tropical or Hispanic community. But that's the thing. It's more than just like Ocean Drive, neon lights, and South Beach. There's different pockets to Miami. So yeah. Should I say it again since I'm good at rambling? I say it one more time.
Listen, I wouldn't say you are a rambler, sir. You are a podcaster. And that is, it's a fine line, but it's there. That just means you've got shit to talk about and you want everybody to know about it. What would you say is one of the pockets that you'd like to explore more?
So there's definitely, when I worked at Miami-Dade College many years ago, I worked with many Jamaicans and I dabbled into their culture with like their food or whatnot, but it was always brought in, you know, like
Right.
to the office. So I
Okay.
would love to go to like a Jamaican restaurant or like even like Sonia's Patties, right? Like that's still there.
Yeah.
So those are different things that I don't dabble in on a daily basis, and I don't go to Kendall anymore. But the Jamaican food, or I have a friend that just opened up a Haitian restaurant, and those are like those. That's certain things I haven't dabbled in. I would love to learn about it. Different music scenes, the underground music scene in Miami. Get back into it. I haven't gone to a show in. Vaya, I don't even remember because I've been so busy or whatnot.
Because you've been winning this guy over here. That's
So a lot of different layers to, you know, Miami. I actually went to like an underground. My buddies, with their fish dip project, they did a show in Alto Bonchita. Performed that as well at a warehouse, like in between like Little Haiti and Alapata. And there's a market for that, like
That
these
sounds fun.
underground, just warehouse shows, you know.
Yeah.
And there was a dope presentation. They had projection all over the venue, and they did their fish dip. So fish dip, it's a show they do live every Thursday, like on Twitch that they stream, and they did it live, like a ticketed event, and they had their fans like flying from Denver or whatnot, and they're Miami based, yeah, Bryson and Ionit Studios or whatnot, and yeah, like they ran a live show, you know, which I thought was cool in the middle of a warehouse, and yeah, so just. You know, different pockets, the live music scene. I haven't dabbled as much as I once have back in the day. So many things that Miami has to offer. That's just, again, not your typical, like your Cafecito, Cuban culture in South Beach, you know? There's more, and there's more artists out there. And luckily working with Cultura Media House, like seeing all them, like how they operate. And just every time I walk into this space, it's always very motivating and inspiring because you could tell they're artists and they're just doing things genuinely because they want to create. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that in Miami. And I feel like, again,
It's just, we have to search for it here more than in certain cities, I feel like. And because of that, it gets lost or not acknowledged.
Not acknowledged, definitely. Because, again, Miami's still an infant city, if you think about it. And I think we talked about this the last time.
Yeah.
And where you have your established major market cities like New York or Chicago, but those cities have been major players for many years. So they have their identity. Miami's still finding its identity. I think we didn't get our first like Michelin star like restaurant to like very recently, like 2 years ago or so, 3 years ago, you know? So it's still finding its identity. And again, with platforms like this, you know, hopefully being able to showcase that, hey, you can go do some cool shit out there in Miami, you know?
Well, that's what Cafecito chats are all about.
Cafecito Chats podcast.
Cafecito Chat podcast. Listen, I will accept many things from you, but imposter syndrome is not one of them, okay? So it is a podcast. All right? I will accept everything from you except for imposter syndrome. Fuck that. You have accomplished way too much to
Oh man,
you know, go into that fucking wormhole. God, I was so vulgar about that too, right? I was so indignant about. I was like,
take
no.
my title.
I was like, I'm gonna hit you with your own belt. It's
crazy you say like imposter syndrome because it happened to me a lot with. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, but remember, I'm a podcaster, not a rambler.
No,
so
exactly. You're in a safe space. This is your podcast safe space for free.
But I feel like with Panolos, there was definitely like that imposter syndrome. Like, I don't consider myself. Speak of the devil a little early. Dale, mete aquí.
Sure.
Well, I'm just gonna interrupt and I'll leave you guys. I usually like don't interrupt, but I wanted to say hi to this guy. How you doing? Oh, last time we interviewed.
Yes. No, there wasn't hardware last time.
There wasn't hardware. So, I just wanted to say hi. I'll do my
Dale.
on YouTube.
Dale, thank you. But yeah, as in regards to like the imposter syndrome with like Panolos, like I don't and I still don't like. Well, I did recently. I did a career day, and I was trying to tell kids that they can do whatever it is they want in life.
I saw that.
So like, I don't consider myself a chef, but like technically, just like you said, technically, your podcast, like yeah, I am. I created recipes. Was my vision and founded the brand and was the one curating the menu. So technically I'm a chef, but
your face is the logo, sir.
Yeah, but I'm not a chef, man. Like I learned how to fry an egg like a year before that for the first time. Like
that happens to him all the time too.
Yeah, you know, like
he comes up with all the recipes and people are always like, "Oh, chef," and he's gotten better at just kind of being like, "Thank you" in the moment, but then afterwards it's that like, but I'm not a chef. Like,
yeah, I'm not, and I just don't like. I'm not a chef, man. Like, I'm just me doing things that I'm passionate about or vision or. You know what it is? It's not even like, yes, I'm passionate about it, but I'll have very like obsessive like habits, I guess, where if I find a new venture or something, I obsess over it and I won't let it go until like accomplish it. And it's happened with everything. And panolos was just something that I always wanted to make pan con vite, like me voy a poner la pila, not to use, you know, the phrase, but, and I obsessed over it and I didn't stop until, you know, now when I became a wrestler and I obsessed over that.
You didn't stop until I asked you to cater my birthday party and then you couldn't make it. That's when you stopped, but that's
that.
okay.
Yeah.
We will not harbor on that one. We'll move on from that. Still dreaming of that pan con vite.
It'll come back. It's coming back soon.
Okay, well, listen, it's on camera now.
It's
not
is.
just on audio anymore. Now they see your face,
now
all
there's
right? They
proof.
can hunt you down.
That's how I'm gonna put.
That's why you switch.
That's
the
why I
hat.
switch the hat
That's why you
forward.
switch the hat. But you mentioned, and this is something we talked about also. You know, last time you were here, using your platform, right, as a wrestler, as Domino. You know, and last time we were here, we did talk about mental health. And I know that we're in the middle of Mental Health Awareness Month when this airs. And I mean, even your shirt, like by all means, I know we were joking earlier about like shameless plug, but you know what? I think that's such a great one. It's, you know, ponte la pila for mental health. Like, we're here with the green light. You're in green. We've got the Green Ranger. I mean, we're, you know, it's the intent is here.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit more about like everything that you're doing this month, you know, just to help bring that general awareness. Cause it's one of those things that I think people pay a lot of lip service to, right? Yeah. Everybody's like, you know, oh, you have to take care of your mental health. And when people talk about it, it can run the gamut from like, you know, do yoga in your Lululemons to like go to therapy.
Yeah. And even
it is a spectrum, but you're not just paying lip service to it. You're really walking the walk in terms of bringing awareness.
Yeah. And I feel like, and it's funny you say that because, and we see it, and I'm guilty of it. We all are, but you'll see like on Instagram and you'll scroll and people are just posting like memes about like inspiring memes or whatnot. And sometimes that's okay because sometimes you can scroll it, you don't know who is impacting, you scroll it, you read it, and maybe it's helping you at that specific moment. But I feel like maybe sometimes like the intent behind it isn't like genuine, right? So I think we have to like kind of, and again, and I want to preface before I even start talking about this, like I am not a mental health professional at all. And I always like to say that because I'm not, and I can use the help too. We all can, but that's what I'm here for, is to talk about that and to say like, hey, like, look, today we were talking about off camera. Today's not my best day. Like, it really is not. I wanted to scream before getting, it's just a little, you know, but that's the thing. It's okay. It's okay to feel a little burnt out. And, you know, Junior and I were talking about it earlier, where it's like, yo, we just like, it's all right. You can be burnt out, you know, but you know that there's the awareness there. There I go with the rambling or the podcasting. But yeah,
I'm making a t-shirt. I'm not a rambler. I'm a podcaster.
I'm a podcaster. Yeah, that's a collab shirt.
Absolutely.
And then we do a collab food item. We do chicken wings inside a pan con vite.
I gained 40 pounds just listening to that thought, but okay, let's do it.
But yeah, it comes from a place where I started seeing, obviously, the main intention and my why is I made a promise to my mom. We both, you know, I've talked about it before. My brother suffers through mental health illness. He has for the last 15 years. There's been some major incidences that have happened, unfortunately. And, you know, my mom and I, we didn't know the symptoms or what it was like being around individuals that had mental health illnesses. But over the last 15 years, we've learned how to navigate through it better or whatnot. And we made a promise. This is my 6th year being involved with doing things. But I told a promise, I look, for as long as I'm alive, like I'll continue to do. We may not be able to help maybe him directly, but if we can help others, like I'll do anything I can. So yeah, and I see it's more just like the talking about it. And like whenever I'm like yesterday at wrestling training, I was able to talk to some of my colleagues. We stepped outside and we were talking about it. And I always say the same thing. Hey, the fact that we're having this conversation right now is a step into the right direction, because nobody was having this, or I don't want to say nobody, but it wasn't popular to have these conversations or to even talk about it or to say like, look, even me saying like, look, today I kind of feel a little down today, you know, like that would have been disregarded, or your typical person, or maybe me even before. This is actually probably the first time on a podcast or an interview I actually said like, I'm not all right. Like, you know what I mean? But where before it's, you kind of, because then what, you're going to get criticized, you're going to get judged. And that's the purpose of why, not only because of my brother, but is to try to, again, it's always to spark that one person that you can, that like, hey, if he said he's not okay and maybe he's accomplished all these things, maybe, you know what, maybe it's okay to not be like, and to use that, you know, because I know it's a popular saying in the mental health community is like it's okay to not be okay. And yeah, as far as this month, I know I'm donating. So I just released these T-shirts, the Ponte la Pila for mental health. It is the name of the team that is walking this year.
Okay.
We walk every year for the last 5 years. Last year we topped, and again, it's not that it's a competition, but there's pride, right? Like we were able to actually make an impact where we finished as the 9th place team out of over 300 in funds.
Congrats.
Thank you. In funds raised. And this is the team name for the team this year. And so proceeds of this will be going towards the walk team and the NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness. And again, I always suggest them. I always work with them. But if anybody ever needs any resources, I have friends in Tampa. I have a friend in Miami that his family in New York suffers. He has a brother that also suffers from mental health illness. His mom's in New York. We did the event together last year, and we did an event offsite. Very just testimonial event and just NAMI there and sharing their resources. And he told me that
what's
day.
what's the name of the organization again?
NAMI, NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness.
Okay.
And we partnered up on the event, and he told me, he said, by the way, I haven't told you, but thanks to you, like shedding light on this organization, my mom found resources for my brother in New York, and he's doing much better now. Like that was in the middle of the event before speaking in front of people. I'm like, dude, you can't just tell me that now. Like what? Like that's wild. Like and it's overwhelming because it's also like it's working.
Right.
This is working. You know what I mean? Like there's people that are using these resources and then it's helping. And then now I have some friends that own a beer bar and wine bar in Tampa, and they're running events out of their spot now with NAMI, and they've garnered a great relationship.
What's the name of the place?
A Hawthorne Bottle Shop.
Listen, they're doing something good. Give them a plug.
Yeah, and she's doing things with them out there. My friend Molly, who now she was a brewer at Tripping Animals. She's now at a brewery in Houston or San Antonio. Now I can't remember. She partnered up with me and No Seasons, my buddy that had family in New York, and now she's doing something out there. So and again, it's always.
I love how it's just become this
sprawling
network.
Exactly, and then this is actually all just coming to me now. Like, damn, it's actually that's right. Like now we're all like have our hand in different communities, And again, a saying, and it's funny in this very studio. I remember saying, I told Hector once. I told him, you never know, like to use a Tupac quote, right? Like you don't know the one person that you're gonna spark. Like the vision could be to try to change the world, right? Like that can be the ultimate end goal, but you don't know, you don't have to reach many people, but if you can just impact one person and that person has the network of many people and the masses, then, job is done. Or if you can save like that one person, right?
Yeah, that's all it takes.
Or help, not save. I don't want to use the word to save because again, I'm not a professional or I'm not,
Yeah, but you can reach that one person.
Yeah, or impact somebody.
Yeah, I like that word, impact.
So with the shirts, with the event, I know with CCW this year they're allowing, we're collaborating where $1, I believe it's $1 of each ticket sold will be donated to the organization as well.
All their events in May?
I believe for May 3rd. So May 3rd, since it's the kickoff event, the bash, we're encouraging for that event. It's our biggest show.
Got it.
It's our biggest show, our most popular one. It's at the Tang Brewery. So we're encouraging everybody to wear green. Encouraging everybody to wear green. Proceeds from my merch sales from the month of May will be donated.
So the entire month of May
for the merch,
the shirt.
Correct.
And where can they find the shirt?
At any CCW show.
Okay,
I bring it with me. So
you don't have it on your site or
online
anything?
site or no?
Okay,
no. And then they're going to donate proceeds of ticket sales towards the organization as well. And we're encouraging everybody to wear green. We changed the logo. The Bash of the Brew logo is usually red. We changed it to green. And I'm debuting. I guess I could say it because by the time this airs,
yeah, we'll already have debuted.
So I'm debuting. I have special neon green tights that I'm surprising everybody with. Or in this case, I surprised all of you guys already.
and it was a shock to all of us. I'm speaking from the past.
So I have neon green tights that I've had for 4 or 5 months that I haven't worn because I've been saving them for this day. Do you remember the vest I wore at that street fight that you saw?
I do.
The black vest and the mask. So
I remember the mask. I totally forgot about it till right now. Yeah.
So I haven't worn that vest, that Domino vest. I had not worn it since that fight because I save it for special occasions only. I'm bringing it back, or I brought it back.
Right.
I'm bringing it back. And I'm putting like green LED like strip lights all over So I want to make it a big presentation, right? Like a big production, tie in the world of wrestling, with things that I'm passionate about or advocating about or for. Better said. And yeah, just trying to marry all the worlds together. And again, you never know, the fact that kids now are like wearing green, or they know they're going to wear green and their parents tell them what it's for. And you just never know. You never know. And then being able to speak at career days, and like, I like to tie that towards mental health, because I was able to try to inspire these kids. Right. And like the main focus at this career day was pretty much telling them, like, the way I started it was like, what do you get? I started it with jumping jacks. And then I started by
Kids love jumping jacks.
you
Don't
need
they?
to get them going, but
They
then it was
really
hard
do.
to calm them down.
Yeah,
after.
well, so you learned your lesson.
But, however, I used the whole wrestling gimmick to use it to my favor, to scream at them.
Oh.
So I would just, yo, ponga la pila! And they would all be cool. So I wasn't screaming at them. It's just a wrestler, like, there's no bad intent there. But I went around the room asking what they wanted to be when they all grew up. And I went, and like, every single one of them, it was 6 different classes throughout the day. And they all told me different things. And some of them told me chef. A lot of them said YouTubers. But then I ended up saying, some of them said wrestlers. Some of them, which was the sweetest thing, a few of them. But I remember the first one when he said it, he's like, I want to be you. I was like, damn, damn. Like, yeah.
Right here,
yeah.
man.
And, but with that said, when I would gather all their answers and what they wanted to be, I told them, I'm here to tell you that you could do all of them. Like, you could do, one of them wanted to be a doctor, the other one a lawyer. And I told them, hey, I have a friend that's a doctor and a lawyer. It is actually both.
Really?
Yeah, he is. He's an anesthesiologist and a lawyer as well.
Oh, he just really wanted to stay in school, right?
Yeah.
That was the end goal there.
Yeah. But yeah, he's been both. And then I told him, like, look, going back to the chef thing, right? He's like, and some of them said chef. I was like, I am a chef. I was a corporate, a professional. I ran my own bar and was a beer tender. I have my own podcast and I'm a YouTuber, just to relate it to the term that they were saying. And I'm a professional champion. And then I was like, but not only am I a wrestler, I'm the Southeastern champion. They were all, yeah. But like, to tell them, like, you could. And I feel like I've gotten comfortable and confident where I've been able to disassociate, like, whether it's, again, like imposter syndrome, whether it's my ego. But no, I feel confident saying, like, I've accomplished within the last few years, like I've accomplished when I was 32, so 4 years ago was when things started changing for me. Mm-hmm. And it's now that I look back and I'm like, no, I'm a completely different human being than I was then. And I feel confident saying, like, you could do all these things. Like, I am confident in knowing that whatever next venture, I know I'm going to kick ass at it, because I know my crazy self already. I know how I operate. I know how I function. I know how I work. And I know that I will put everything into accomplishing whatever it is. Si no lo logro, but I can guarantee you I tried my best.
Well, that's all you can do at the end of the day. Yeah.
So my message was to these kids was, you can do any of that and all of it if you really want to. And I'm here living proof of it. And then I twist it on them and I tell them, however, the only way you can do this is if you listen to your parents and your teachers, because there's a reason why they're telling you to clean your room and to do this or to do that or to do your homework. And it's to build discipline, because discipline builds hard work. Damn right. And hard work is how you set your goals. And how you set your goals is how you grow to be the champion right here and stuff like that. And that's how I tied it in. And hopefully that, resonates in one of these kids.
But there's no lies there.
No, there isn't.
It is discipline.
Exactly. Like, I wasn't lying to these kids or trying to, like, I was trying to just dumb it down for them, but it was all accurate information. And I tie it into the mental health because my mental health, I feel like starting the gym helped me and helped my mental health a lot, because it created better habits. It created a stronger discipline, and all these habits and traits that I developed stronger by going to the gym. And it's the same thing I'm trying to tell these kids. I'm not telling them, go to the gym so you can build these habits. Listen to your parents and these, because it's
not gonna if you tell the gym, it's not going to resonate to them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But that correlates to my mental health, and it's helped me, saying no. And I think we talked about it at the last time that I spoke with you guys, was learning how to say no.
I still have a hard time with that one.
Learning how to say no, whether it's, look, I've gotten opportunities to do pop-ups at different markets, and I've had to say no because it doesn't align with how I think it's going to benefit me. And if it was too much stress at the time, I'm not going to great opportunity, but you know what? It's going to affect me up here. I know if I take the gig, it's going to burn me out, this and that. Hey, let's go get a drink after the shift. No, you changed, or you started now, you're a wrestler and this and that. I'm like, you know what? And I've learned who my real friends are. Because my real friends, instead of giving me shit for not joining them, my real friends would be like, yo, get home. Get home quick, fucking knock out that workout tomorrow.
Right.
You need to make it to the WWE. You need to do this. You need to, you know what I mean? So I've been able to shed a lot of that over the years. And again, and I correlate that, not to get sidetracked or we got a little off track, but it still all correlates towards like the mental health, right?
Of course it does.
And that's just me sharing. Again, I'm not a professional. I'm telling you should live your lives. This is just my journey, you know? And the reason I try to talk about it so much, and it's my reason why. And my reason why being it hits home because my brother suffers through mental health illness. You know what I mean? Right. And so yeah, just hopefully my main always goal that I tell people is be vulnerable. It's okay to be vulnerable. I think, especially now being in the wrestling world, I see it too, where people are scared to share certain things. It's like, yo, like,
well, I mean, you're in an environment that thrives on testosterone,
Yeah,
right? For all intents
yeah.
and purposes. And so to hear it coming from you, right? Someone in that world, like even just that word, those words of like, be vulnerable.
yeah,
It sounds so much different. And it just has so much more meaning coming from someone who is in that, you know, wrestling, like, macho world than if I say it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, yeah, I'm just un come mierda who's, you know, marketing and sells chicken wings in a parking lot, you know, but like it carries weight when you say things like that. It does. I want you to understand that. Like it really does.
And that's why I always focus, and I say it all the time. I feel like I say it anytime I speak, the word vulnerable and be vulnerable always comes out because I think it's extremely important to, and again, not a professional or anything, but it's helped me. And I think we can all benefit in just being vulnerable and then not judging. Like there should be no judgment. We should all live compassionately and try to be, we're all trying to survive. We're all just trying to survive. We all have insecurities. I'm insecure about, we talked about it earlier. I was insecure about the way I was wearing this hat earlier, you know? No, but I want to voice that. Like I want to voice
it's
that.
something as silly,
Because
quote unquote,
I want to
as
voice
that.
that because you know what? There's gonna be somebody. I was gonna say there's gonna be an asshole out there. Whatever. There's gonna be somebody.
We're only going to judge you if you're an asshole. That's the only way I'm going to judge you.
There's gonna be somebody out there like, oh god, this guy like do his hair or his hat or whatever. Like, yeah, I'm insecure about the way I was wearing my hat. Like, I can own it. And you know what? I'm at peace because I'm being vulnerable and I'm being true to myself. You know what I mean? So it doesn't affect me negatively in that way. It affects me negatively if me arrepiento and I don't want to talk about it. But I understand. I think the key is that you're aware of your insecurities or what you need to be vulnerable about. You get me? So that's why I will always preach, like, be vulnerable. Just be vulnerable. It's freedom. Vulnerability is freedom. Vulnerability is love. And I will die on that. Tu sabes qué, ma? I need a new tattoo.
I was gonna say the next shirt, but okay, you want something a little more permanent. All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
We'll do. You know what? Junior, bring me the tattoo pen.
I'm announcing it right now. I'm announcing it right now. I'm announcing it.
You're gonna get
breaking news.
Breaking news.
Even bigger.
Oh,
we're gonna do a cafecito chats.
Okay.
With my tattoo artist.
Okay.
And we're gonna get that tattoo live as we're interviewing him. I promise. That will be my mental health promise to everybody. I will be vulnerable or some sort of vulnerability tattoo.
Okay, first of all, that's a great idea. Second of all, I'm jealous that I didn't think of something like that.
Or we do 2 episodes. You do your episode with me at the tattoo shop.
You know what? We'll figure it out. Because now it turned in from coordinating just my schedule and your schedule to now the tattoo artist has to be.
Oh, which is tough.
I'll be on there.
It's tough. But yeah, man, I get fed up. I get fed up. I think we all just need to fucking stop criticizing or being so hard on each other. We're all insecure about some shit. Be vulnerable. Yeah. Like it's okay. Like we're all insecure about something. And that's the key to the freedom there is just be vulnerable.
I mean, it's so key. So, vulnerability is freedom. Because people don't understand that it's like a lot of times people think, oh, you're so secure. You do this because you don't care and you're so
yeah.
And I think it's almost the opposite, right? It's because I cared so much at one point about what everybody in the world thought that I had to you just have to come full circle.
Yeah.
You have to flip it, go 180 at some point, and I'm just gonna be exposed.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna do what I want to do, and it's liberating. But I also know somebody's going to have, like, to your point, somebody's going to be an asshole about something that I wear or that I say or what have you.
Yeah.
But there's such a freedom in just that
doing
that I'm just going to be me.
Yeah.
And that's so.
And it's like, fuck the person that is going to judge or, because you know you. That person doesn't know you.
That's the thing. It's never people who know you that are criticizing you to that degree.
So something that brings me peace is also when I think about things like this is like I won't get upset or anything, but I'll kind of think like, damn, that's somebody that can use a conversation. You know what I mean? Or like that's somebody that's probably hasn't found the awareness yet within themselves.
Yes.
And is a little ignorant to the fact of certain things. And maybe that person just needs a conversation. Like, damn, well, why is it you think that way? They're this and that. And then just, hey, it's a conversation. Maybe some enlightenment, maybe some awareness. Maybe you can impact that one person and maybe they can start thinking a little bit differently or rewire the brain.
Have you tried having those conversations with those people? I'm asking genuinely because I never have. Because in my mind, I'm always like, you know what? It's not my, and maybe this is my fault. It's not my responsibility to change you.
Exactly. So I will say the answer to that is, and I'm thinking about most of the time, like I feel like when I was working at Union behind the bar, I was involved with those conversations a lot. And no, because they weren't conversations, but it was more of a challenge. I would challenge them to think differently. Okay. So I would always get like a bias or an opinion and be like, hey, but what if this scenario isn't like this and this is happening because that person's going through that? So I challenge them to switch the way they think, right? Like, damn, like, why is that person like barging in here or whatever? Just to think on the fly of something. Oh, why is that person barging in here or whatever? It's so annoying. It's like, yeah, maybe. But yo, what if that person was just in a car accident and is running in here because he has to get a cell phone or something? I'll say it. You know, just think, you don't know. And I think that may not be and it's not because I'm trying to justify what's happening, but it's more of a practice to try to rewire your brain to think differently. Not like, again, it's not like justifying the act. It's more of like, hey, that could be totally false. That's actually not right. You don't barge in there or whatever. But maybe you should think about rewiring your brain and processing that differently. Right. As opposed to going towards something negative. You know what I mean? Towards something that affects you. Because at the end of the day, that act that you're trying to justify or lo que sea is affecting you negatively. You get me?
And sometimes it doesn't even affect you at all.
Yeah.
Like it has nothing to do with you. And yet, te lo está cogiendo para ti mismo, you know? Like, why?
Yeah.
What does it bother you if that person runs in and
that should be a red flag. You get me right there. It's like, okay, maybe like you should be processing. We all should. It'll still happen to me. Like if I see something, you go towards it. I feel like we're all just preconditioned to think these negative things, or it's just like judging. I use it during the mental health talks, like judging homeless people on the street. Mm-hmm. I get it. I still sometimes see it, and it's an instinct, right? Like kind of like no or this. But I try not to, and I'll try to like if I'm ordering food at a drive-thru, I always order something extra. If I don't see anybody, whatever, I take it home with me and I eat it for the gains, you know. But at least I try to like have the intent, right? But a lot of the times, and I feel like it comes as we were children, like go un trabajo, you know, go un trabajo. Tú tienes, you have your limbs and this and that. You can go get a job, but like, and I say it now because I've learned. Sometimes it's not all about, well, there's two things because
it's more than that most times.
It's two things because, oh, you're a drug addict, get a job, blah, blah, blah. It's like, wait, most of society nowadays is consuming alcohol and doing some sort of recreational drug. So who's one to judge? Right. That goes back to the rewiring. Hey, don't be so quick to judge. Like, right.
Because that stock,
you're no more superior.
That stock professional guy, whatever's probably doing rails in the bathroom for all you know. Yeah.
And then the other thing is my brother's been homeless on the streets like 3 times. And it had nothing to do with him not having a home or him not having or being capable of. It's because of his mental illness didn't allow him, and he had to do certain drastic things that due to certain symptoms, he had to do certain things to end the. And I always I try not to talk too much about it, but it's like the Truman Show, like the movie Truman Show. There's a lot of like thought broadcasting, right? So, and able to disconnect that, he had to do certain drastic things to kind of pull the plug from the Truman Show that he thought his life was being broadcasted. And being homeless was one of them and happened 3 times. But he had a loving home. My mom was there. He lives with my mom. Like he just had to escape because that's what he thought he had to do. So you don't know who you're crossing paths with, you know? Like, so don't be so quick to judge people. Like you never know. So I guess my goal is always like, and again, it goes back to like, have I had those conversations? Not necessarily the conversations now, but whenever I see something like that, I just try to challenge to see that hopefully with the challenge, they can rewire the brain. I know it's 99% of the time. It's probably not gonna, they're probably already molded in their ways, but hey, I can be at peace that at least I did my effort in trying, and you never know that one person is probably gonna be like, because you know what, that one person, it's funny, ironically enough, there was one person in my life that always challenged me to think a certain way, and it was my fucking brother. You know what I mean? And he was always the one. And Merizo, and I get.
I mean, I'm getting a little teary-eyed over here. So,
but it's just crazy because I think about this like now on the fly. Like he was always the one. Like he was reading these books like Dr. Wayne Dyer and these like psychology books. And I guess I hate to use the word like the phrase self-help because
it's
has a negative connotation towards it. But he was always very spiritual, and I consider myself a spiritual individual because of growing up with him and looking. And then it's just crazy how now things have changed. But what's keeping me, it's crazy. It's almost like some interstellar shit. I'm sorry, but it's almost like he was planting the seeds for me. Like he knew this was all gonna happen. And early on, he was planting the seeds for me to be able to carry this message in the future to help because he knew something was gonna happen. Then here we are now.
Well, yeah, I was
Like,
thinking,
it's
I was
fucking-
thinking that exact thing. I'm like, a lot of times is your older brother.
Yeah.
Right. You don't know who's going to impact your life and in what way.
Yeah.
And then it all of a sudden you find out later.
Yeah.
And I think some people would say like, oh, well, someone with mental illness, what can they possibly contribute? And it's
Yeah.
like, well, no, look at you.
Yeah.
He was able to broaden your
Yeah.
way of thinking.
I am not who I am today without him in my life. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely not. Yeah. And it's crazy because he, like, whenever I do try to chat with him or he's like going through something, he, for some reason, he's part of, what he goes through. He's fixated on that. He was a bad role model for me, like back in the day, that he was rough on me and this and that. It's like, no, like on the contrary, man, if you only knew, But yeah, it's wild. Sorry, I didn't mean to get.
No, listen, that's the beauty of what I found when I do this show a lot of times is I know who I'm bringing on and I know things like certain, road blocks that or touch points I want to go through, but I never know where the conversation is going to go. And that's part of my favorite, that's my favorite part of the show is just, because my goal here is for you to feel so comfortable that you're just you.
Yeah.
And I think that's something.
And, well, that's something that I've talked to you about before. Like, thank you because your platform, and I've listened to your other shows. I listened to the one with George Arango, Mr. Eats 305. And And yeah, you guys just allow people, and it happened with me, so I could speak for myself. You guys allow people to be themselves, but what we were just preaching was to be vulnerable. Right. You make it a safe space for me to be vulnerable and share that. Something I don't get deep. I'll talk about it on the surface because I want to make a point across, but I don't get deep into like my brother's story because you know what? Maybe if he does listen, I don't want to, you know what I mean? I try to avoid that, but it goes back to again, preaching the being vulnerable, and you can't be vulnerable without people that provide you a safe space. So thank you for allowing me to be vulnerable.
No. Listen, this is again literally your house. Like Cultura Media house. Cultura Media house. This is all of our house. I want to kind of shift a little bit maybe, and so you have another match coming up at the end of the month.
Yes,
May 24th.
May 24th,
right? And again, you're gonna have your shirts on sale there.
If they're not sold out by then, yes.
Oh, look at him already, like telling you it's quantities are limited.
No,
like,
I'm almost sold out of these. I think I only have small, medium, and large left.
Okay.
I'm out of XL. I gotta check. But yeah, if I had black shirts, the one you're wearing, I got more. I got some of these Cafecito hats. Okay. I was gonna try to make a rhyme, Cafecito hats because of Cafecito chats. So
he's a rapper too.
Oh, hey, Pitbull! I told you earlier, soy Rottweiler, ten cuidado.
He's a rapper. It's like there's nothing this man can't do. I'm telling you. So I mean, but that is that another big event?
I'm not done. I'm
sorry.
like Dr. Seuss. I just go and read Cat in the Hat.
So your wheelhouse is just anything that ends in at is where we're going. Like, it's like, and he used a pan cubano as a bat. Like, see, you're not the only one.
I'm better in Spanish.
I'm
better in Spanish. Oye, que bola que vuelta. I can't say it. It's vulgar.
No, you can't say you're better in Spanish than not, girl.
Si tú sigue, te doy con la escopeta. Oye, respeta. No, I can't.
You see, this is what I mean by I never know where the hell the show's gonna go by the time when we start, and it's just like let's just follow it down this path.
I'm like the Cuban John Cena when he was rapping. The last time he was a bad guy.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say, or you're like, what's his name, Rhodes? But if he was 100% Cuban,
if he was 100% Cuban, but I see, at least John Cena used to rap. Well, he still raps.
Oh my God, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, the doctor of thugonomics.
Yes, because when I think of, thug, I think of an Irish guy from Boston. Yes, that's what I immediately jump to.
But yeah, May 24th. Vice City Slam
Yes.
en el Dolphin Mall.
I'm just happy that we don't have a pop-up that day and I can go to this.
Burger Beast is going to be popping
That's
up.
right. Burger Beast is
It's
gonna be popping
National
up to
Burger. It's National Burger Month. It's Mental Health Awareness Month. All the community, everything. Everybody's going to go out there and celebrar all the national awareness. We're going to find
All the awarenesses.
yeah, exactly.
All of it. All of it.
National, no say, Rapper Month, and we're going to have a freestyle. I'm going to bust my first freestyle ahí in the middle of the ring.
I can't wait. You know what? Again, this is gonna air before it, so you're saying shit's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm coming out.
I will be there with my phone, being like, "Oye, y el rap in the ring, dale on the YouTube, bring it."
Actually, speaking of songs
Oh
and rapping,
no, you're gonna do bachata now too?
they're actually no, it's crazy. Wait, you said bachata?
Yeah.
No. Hey, maybe. I'll do it all. You know Otto Bonchira? Local Miami artist.
Say again.
Otto Bonchira.
Okay,
Bermuda.
I do. I just don't know how to pronounce that.
Okay, yeah.
He was a guest on your show.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Okay. Yes, I know who he is. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, so I'm just like Otto. I end it there.
Draculo.
Otto V. Like that. I'm
Yeah.
done there. Yeah.
Miami royalty, local artist. So actually been working on a track together. We played a snippet on the show that he was on. The episode he was on, better said. The song is called Ponte las Pilas.
Okay.
We've been talking about possibly previewing it and playing it live on May 24th at Vice City Slam.
A man of his word. That's all I'm saying.
I said May. Not May 24th, but that we may play
No, I just heard May 24th. That's all I heard. I just heard May 24th. I didn't hear may or may not. Nope.
Hey, pero stay tuned.
Love
May play it live. Maybe I will get on the mic. Mira, I'll give you a freestyle right now. I'm like really trying hard to redeem myself.
He's like, damn it. People are watching this.
Hey, you know what? I'm doing it on purpose to preach, to be vulnerable. Hey, I'm not a rapper, but I'm embarrassing myself. I've been blushing for the last 5 minutes, but it's okay.
It's perfectly fine. They're not going to take the belt away. It's okay. It's okay. It's perfectly fine.
We're like, Adrian, not even Domino. Adrian, we need to take this away. You embarrass us live.
Yeah, they even stripped your name. They're like, this ain't even Domino. It's like Adrian.
As a matter of fact, not only are we taking this belt away, but your services are no longer
Yeah, exactly.
required.
The second runner-up is going to take over. It's like a Miss America thing.
And then I'll come back with a mask and be a luchador, and then they won't know it's me.
You just came up with an entire storyline for yourself here that I like. I don't even, bro. Your mind works in a way that I envy.
And
then no, there's more. Wait, hold on. Now there's a
but-
sequel.
But we use like different colors, so it's not like Miami colors. We use like Chicago colors or something.
Okay, so it's like red and black.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm in. I'm gonna follow you down this path. Listen, I am the best improver because I will yes and the hell out of everything.
I'll paint my hair red instead. No, but you can't see it because of the mask.
No, because but you can have it coming out from the bottom.
Yeah. I'll just cover all
Or
my
mira,
tattoos.
pones extensiones, just so it's longer.
Trenza.
Trenza. Yes. No, because that's cultural appropriation. So just extensions. Just extensions. Yeah.
Extensions. We'll get a cover up.
Yeah.
You know, I'm dedicated.
We're gonna have to definitely
Committed.
get like a good spray tan person just to.
Or I'll just
cover
come out with the whole like full body suit.
a full body suit.
And then
But I feel like that would be a little constricting for you though.
Estoy pompeado.
I feel like, listen, let me tell you something. The last time you were here, I mean, yes, you were going to the gym and everything, but like, you're looking great. Like, estás like fuerte.
I got a little panza because I had pollo tropical before getting here.
Really, do you wanna compete with panzas here? Because yeah, come on. All right.
What has just happened?
What is this? This is the part where it goes off the rails.
So this is what happens when
This one goes viral.
this is what happens when you're vulnerable.
When you're
and you need to
vulnerable.
balance. You know.
Yes. No, but listen, I'm just glad you feel comfortable and clearly. Pero
From literally having tears in our eyes to
right? So like
embarrassing ourselves.
you
with
gotta
freestyling.
swing the pendulum to the other way, or else like olvídate.
It's all part of the. You don't have to take yourself seriously in life, man.
No, why?
It's you know.
Why? I'm a gal.
Singa que la vida es pinga.
I mean, yes. Put that on a shirt too. Put that on the shirt for Prostate Awareness Month.
For CrossFit Awareness Month.
For Prostate Awareness Month.
Prostate Awareness Month.
Wait, what did you think I said?
CrossFit?
No. Yes, for CrossFit. First of all, why does CrossFit need an awareness month? Is my first question.
I don't know. Those CrossFitters are crazy, man. My girlfriend's a CrossFitter. Está loca para
Yeah,
carajo, bro.
trust me. People will tell you they do CrossFit. They don't need an awareness month. Nobody's shying away from that. Like, no, prostate awareness month.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But
What has happened?
I don't know. But I gotta tell you though. I mean, as we start wrapping it up instead of just rapping, which you were doing before. We're wrapping up.
We're attempting to.
I am so happy for you.
Thank you.
Like I see you on the gram and we chat back and forth this and that. I'm sure like when we were talking earlier today, you have your struggles like everybody else, but you genuinely seem to be in such a happy place.
Yeah.
And I love to see that in people who I just love to see. Like you are somebody who just, I get happy. Like there's something about you that brings joy into a room generally, not just now, since Union Beer days, right?
Yeah.
There's just always something about you that was just like, oh yeah, Adrian's here. Like, automatically it just puts a smile on my face. And to watch you succeed really, really makes me happy. Like I'm really that person who I love to see people that I root for coming through. So
we all win together.
Damn right. So I mean, just
and, I love that you guys are doing what you're doing. So we are all each other's.
We need a support system. Yeah, like a cheering section.
Absolutely.
And when it's genuine.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly.
Genuine.
Exactly.
That's the key.
It's not like you walk into a room and like, oh damn, nice purse or nice sneakers.
Right, or like,
or
oh my God,
this,
hey,
or
how are you?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Can we talk really quick? Were you about to wrap it up?
I was, but that's never stopped this show before.
Something I feel very strong.
As Junior, I say we're gonna wrap it up and then 20 minutes go by. Like,
Junior está like, oye, sácame de aquí, tengo un hambre.
Esto sigue. Overtime.
Which, by the way, I love the fact that you guys go way back too.
Oh yeah,
by the way,
middle school.
This is like middle school. I did not know that.
Yeah. And what I did want to say, because it seems like me puse las pilas y estoy todo activado, hacer en mode. So that if you said, how are you? The whole like, oh, hi, how are you? I feel very strongly about this, and I've talked about it many times. Let's normalize setting intention when you're asking somebody, how are you? Like, how are you should not be treated as a greeting. Let's stop using how are you. Like, hey, how are you? Oh, good, and you? And then, no. When we're asking, let's set some intent and like, hey, how are you? Like, how are you? Like, how actually are you?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, instead of just, oh, hey, how are you?
So say what's up as opposed to how are you? Because how are you has such a
the connotation is there already for it's a greeting. How are you is a greeting. It's not being treated as a question. It's a greeting. It's like, hey, how are you? Oh, bien, y tú? Okay, cool. No, like I think I don't know. This is my challenge for everybody.
I like this.
The next time you say something, how are you? Just say it with some intention. The next time you say, hey, how are you? And then catch yourself. That's my challenge. Catch yourself and then ask it again. And be like, no, put your touch, unless, maybe people don't want to be touched, but use the power of touch. Use the power of touch. The shoulder. Hey, like, how are you? Like, how are you actually doing? You good? Family good? Cool. I don't know. That's the challenge for the day.
I love that. And I think that is probably the best way to end this episode, honestly, is like, I love a challenge and I love just be vulnerable.
Be vulnerable.
Be intentional.
Yes. And some intent the next time you ask somebody.
I love it.
How are you?
I love it. Okay. Adrian, te quiero y me quedo corto, as they say. Like, I adore you. I love you. I will have you on the show whenever, even if you're just bored one day and you're like, hey, do you have any guests? Like, can I come on? Yes, just come on. I don't care if you stop wrestling tomorrow, if you never make another pan con bistec. I don't care. You can come on the show and just hang out. Like, honestly.
I actually, again, podcaster, so I'm going to keep talking. One more thing. I think I have an idea here.
Junior's getting PTSD now.
Yeah, I have an idea here. What if I'm all about revolutionizing like ideas and things like that, right? I'm a wrestler, whatever, right?
Yeah, that's what you just do.
What if we can hybrid episode of Pero Let Me Tell You with Cafecito chats somehow?
So like, Pero Let Me Cafecito chat?
Yeah, pero, yeah, yeah.
Or Pero Cafecito or...
Pero Let Me, yes. We'll come up, yeah. Pero
We're clearly workshopping the name as we're doing this.
Let's give the people a hybrid.
I'm not opposed.
episode.
I am not opposed.
where us three are hosting.
Okay.
And we just grill somebody and we bring somebody on there that we hate.
Wow, that just that took a turn. Like I was like, okay, yeah. He's like, and then we just take somebody out into a field and beat them. Like man.
All right, this is where I stop. I'm sorry. We ended the show so far, like so well, with a nice like positive challenge. Entonces estoy aquí acelerado, activado, hacer el mood.
You know,
like
because you're a wrestler, you always gotta leave the audience wanting more. That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to.
Siempre con la pila bien puesta, cojones.
There's no other way to end other than that, is there? Thank you so much, man.
Thank you so much.